the chairman of the dock workers, and I do negotiate now on behalf of the World Seafarers, officers and ratings. The great tragedy when they talk about this area of insecurity, the great terrorist threat, someone's going to behead somebody in Martin Place, for goodness sakes, you know? We're all in a tiz. People can't sleep at night. And yet we can see off the one thing that kept Australia secure during the Second World War, that secured our economy, that was be able to deliver a fair and representative share of wealth during colonialism, that was able to deliver jobs and, more important, control of trade. That was why A&L was formed, and container ships for A&L, because we didn't want to be carved up by the big international shipping monopolies. Because we're a trading nation, miles away from our markets. Never more so than today. All of the things that we know as seafarers and we grew up with, the 4%, now 1%. 4% of Australian cargoes carried in Australian ships, now 1%, less than 1%. That we know as a trading nation, and yet our country has become more of a trading nation. We've stopped making cars. We've stopped making steel. We're shutting down canneries. We're outsourcing all of our industries. We don't do anything. We haven't got a sovereign wealth fund, as they've got in Norway, for all of the wealth that we've got. You know, and that wealth of iron ore, coal, hydrocarbons, minerals, gold, you know, there's a plethora of wealth that this country has owned. We've never been able to translate it back into, never had politicians of sufficient intelligence and character to go back to the electorate and say, we want to create our national wealth and build up our national interest through that. And in doing that, that was the reason there was a bipartisan political policy on A&L, because otherwise the international ship owners were going to carve us up. And the farmers and the producers and the manufacturers in Australia could never compete because they were going to be screwed. And if you have a foreign interest controlling the one way of getting your produce to market, international market, and they monopolise you, as they still do, there's exemptions under the Trades Practices Act still in this country that they can form monopoly conferences in container lines and dominate, set prices, squeeze out the competition.